up on our Facebook page here in a minute, so
Okay.
we can test that, and if so, we'll be ready to go. I think everything's good.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really benefit to like tilt it down more, really.
Yeah, we can do that a little bit. Yeah, if anybody's watching this, we're kind of just doing a last-minute double checking, so yeah. There you go. All right, we got a little bit of less sun now. Duct tape. All right, let's do one last sound check. This is yours, by the way, too.
Oh, thanks.
Check, check, check. 1, 2.
Check. Hey. Click here when live
Check, check.
for stream info.
Yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. All right, let's check. Make sure, because we are live. Just going to double check our phones.
I can expand this, can I?
We can. I'll get it going in a minute.
It don't matter, really.
Yeah. Yep, we are live.
Cool, cool.
We are live, people.
Hey, hey.
Should we do this official sign-on? Should we? I'll get this away from you. Yeah, we had a couple live difficulties with sound here, but we finally officially got it up, people. So thank you for, the half-hour technical difficulty. Might be even better to keep the headphones on. I feel we don't hear the wind as much.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, want to do the sign-on real quick? Like we know?
Let's pull this
Oh, we got to get
into the shot.
Yeah. Get these beers here.
Just trying to make it
All right.
look a little presentable.
Yeah. We styling.
Just trying to clean it up.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Itself.
Thank you, people.
This on the inside. The prime guy here. Prime guy there. Yeah.
All right, now we can share our stuff at least.
We're almost there.
We're almost there, guys.
This is the first time.
First time going live, so we're bound to have stuff go bonkers. We can just share it, and then share it from there. Yeah. WRESTLEMANIA.
I don't understand.
Should be able to.
It's the reactions.
If you go here and go back to your home and search one set here, and then click share, and then there you go. We know how to work our devices. Yeah. So we were trying to do a 4 mic setup, but some odd reason our mic interface wasn't picking up, so we ended up having 2. So if people do come out today, which we do have a lot of people here already, we'll just hand over people the mic and you let them speak a little bit if we need to. But yeah, man, cheers, let's do this.
Cheers, brother. Happy WrestleMania weekend.
What's up, everybody?
What is going on?
Live from WrestleMania. Oh, I thought that was Bailey for a sec. I was like, "You're gonna win tonight." People are just looking at us like, "Why the fuck are they talking to people like that?"
It's all good.
Just these random people just talking in a table.
Oh man.
We are live from WrestleMania, people. This is something that we've been looking forward to for so long, and we're stoked to officially be out here in the Philly air. Let's get going. First initial thoughts of night 1 for you.
Look, I had high expectations for the show, honestly. And I think that there was a lot of really good delivery. I thought the crowd on TV like just sounded like not into it. I did see people saying how frigid cold that it was with the wind chill.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if you're going tonight, bundle up because it will get cold.
Yeah.
It'll get cold.
I do have my my winter jacket that I brought, so I'm looking to definitely bundle up when the sun goes down here. I mean, we had the sun out a little bit earlier, but it's a pretty clear sky other than a couple clouds here. But it's
a couple. Look at them all. Look at them all.
A couple. But it's not like it's basking down. It's not like it's like 80 degrees out here. I mean, we kind of would really benefit from it being 80 degrees today. But, hey, we'll take it. At least it's not like sub-zero temperatures today.
It's not raining.
No.
Right?
And everybody thought it was going to be raining. Like, all the haters, like, we hope it rains for you guys. Like, well, Philly's going to come through.
Yeah, Philly came through. It's a little chilly. We had really good weather when we went 5 years ago up in North Jersey.
Yeah, we did.
I actually got sunburn on my neck.
I think we all got sunburned in like the middle of April. And it's funny because Jen just said, like, in 35, it was April 7th as well. So it's funny how, this time it's April 7th again.
Okay.
So funny how things go like that, right?
Super funny. Dude, yeah, I got to say, everyone's talking about it. The frickin' Rock Man went 45 minutes in the match.
I really didn't know how he was going to look because he looked like crap in Raw and SmackDown when he was doing like the little bits here and there. He looked like he was out of shape.
Oh, yeah.
But for The Rock, that's very rare. But I'm like, how is he going to go 30, 40, possibly even 60 minutes in a match? And it looked like he was like slow, but he looked pretty good last night.
Yeah, I thought that all of the work outside of the ring early on when Cody and Roman were up at like the entrance ramp and then Rock and Seth were out in like the stands.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, this is kind of just for the sake of prolonging the match. It's just like, I mean, it was very Attitude Era in like they used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Right. But we'll talk about the match in depth.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go through the card in a second here.
Yeah, because I mean, there was some matches that were like, I mean, I wasn't too happy with how it was, but we knew the ending, and the ending was. Then there was like ones where it was just like, oh, I didn't even think that was gonna happen. Again, we'll get to it, but
yeah.
like this, like for instance, the Sami Zayn and Gunther match, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, let's go through the card. Okay?
Let's go through the card.
All right. So Triple H opens the show, which I figured he was going to. This is the Triple H era or the Renaissance era, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
The McMahons are out of the picture.
Officially out.
I mean, we did see Stephanie at the Hall of Fame, but she was just there as Triple H's wife,
Plus one. Like,
yeah, literally. Oh, man. Dude, I didn't watch the entire Hall of Fame. I only watched the Paul Heyman.
Yes, that Paul Heyman speech was epic.
I thought it was curious that they had him go first because apparently people were clearing out after he finished, and
I can imagine.
And they were trying to move people around in front of the hard cam so that it looked like they still had people in the house.
Yeah.
Which is what AEW apparently does all the time. But anyway,
we won't talk about that one.
Yeah, well, dude.
Save it for the dirt sheets.
Yeah. So, it was Muhammad Ali's widowed wife presented The Rock with the People's Championship belt, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
yeah.
And that's the belt that he was donning last night. The Rock in 2024 is rolling around with a custom title belt at WrestleMania.
Kind of like that one right
there. Kind of like this one here.
I did not expect him to actually use it, like, to go out in either. So when I'm like, wait, what's that? Oh, he brought the freaking belt that he got the night
at
before.
The Hall of Fame, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Heyman's speech is it was I've gone I've gone back and watched bits and pieces, and for the really grotesque censors, there are people that were live in attendance. You can find it online, and it is it's just crazy how extreme.
Extreme.
How extreme that Paul went with the language, and Randy Orton just freaking out.
Marked out.
It was
so
awesome.
Hard. You can definitely tell that WWE has gotten away with a little bit more language over the last couple weeks, months. But, Heyman with that, I was like, oh, okay, they're really just going off the rails.
Yeah.
Or he just didn't really care.
Or he just didn't care. I mean, he was like, you can't cancel me.
You cannot cancel me.
Nah.
You can only cancel yourself.
Yeah, and he actually went on to say that, like, towards the end. He's like, you can try to cancel me as many times as you want, but I'm coming back every single freaking time.
And I believe it.
Yeah. There's no getting rid of Heyman.
Nah.
The dude, obviously being inducted into the Hall of Fame, was a legend even beforehand, and he deserved it. I'm glad that that Triple H, this being Hunter's or Paul's, we're calling him by Paul now, right? His first hand-picked Hall of Fame, and Paul Heyman was the very first one, and to be announced as like the headline for the Hall of Fame induction. And the way that Paul Heyman put over Paul Triple H Levesque at like the early part of the induction ceremony, I mean, just tears to my eyes for like just thinking Triple H just got put over by Paul Heyman in like the biggest way possible. It's his induction speech where he can talk about his own life and his own legacy and how he got to that point. He put Triple H over in a big way and put over the WWE in such a huge way. We all know that this is a different feel than even a year ago, right?
Right.
I mean, the stuff about Redacted.
It's cool that they're kind of, taking this Mania as like the new start. I mean, how, Hunter was saying, it's a new era, new this, new that. And, it does feel, because obviously with everything that's gone down with Vince and, having him just exiled out, it's cool to just see like everybody's just taking the step up to be like, hey, this ain't going nowhere, but we have to just, keep things going, and this is the start of something new. And it's not like even just the fact that like, oh, starting from like A to B, like this is a brand new WWE. It's just, no, it's like what it is, but just a step up. So I'm looking forward to what, Hunter, Rock, the creative, because you can already tell I'm just really happy with how the creative is, and especially the one thing with last night. You did not see with other WrestleManias. There wasn't any backstage segments last night, which usually you will have maybe one or two.
The only one that,
at least I didn't see any.
Okay.
If there was.
Did you see Sammy backstage before?
Okay, that one. Okay, that was the only one that I remember.
That's the only one that
now,
yeah.
Even though I just said there wasn't any backstage segments, but I remember that one. But yeah, there wasn't, because I feel like that was like the thing back in past WrestleManias. They would really utilize that to just fill time, but most of the time filled was the matches. I mean, nonetheless, they had 7 matches to get through, but I felt they were pretty, good at getting, on and off. Like there wasn't anything that lagged other than the main event, but it wasn't like a lag, but like they all kind of had a decent amount of time per match.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at, check this out. I have the length of the matches right here at hand. Okay, so, 17 minutes, 17 and a half minutes, 11 minutes, 11 minutes, 8 minutes, 15 and a half, and then 44:35.
Yeah.
Tag. And really, yeah, the 45-minute match, it felt lengthy. It was twice as long as the rest of the matches, and it was at the end of the night, right? But none of the matches felt.
I'm just gonna fix this camera here. Keep going.
We got a situation that we're tending to. We just need to put something. Yeah, the stool that the laptop's sitting on. We need to put something underneath of it. Here, take this. My trusty, sweet pink notebook. Take as many pages as you want. Yeah, it's right underneath me here. Just kidding. It's in the car. It's right on the driver's seat. It's right here. Yeah. So good. Yeah, I mean, there were definitely parts before we jump into running through the card all the way from last night. Definitely a couple of matches that I had higher expectations for sure. I had high expectations for the entire night, but there were definitely 2 matches that I was like, this was good at best. One of them I didn't care for too much. Talk about that once. It should be on the driver's side. Give me a second.
Oh, okay, it's right behind you.
I was gonna say, I had it under the table and then. But yeah, Anth, I was just saying there was definitely one match that I really didn't care for last night. Yeah, that's fine.
That's what happens live, folks.
Yeah. I'm gonna slide this book under the one leg so it doesn't rock.
Yeah. So while Jim's doing that, he was saying one little, hey, how you guys doing? You follow? Awesome. What's your name? Trey. Nice to meet you, man. Thanks for following. We got a follower. Enjoy the show tonight, dude.
Well, that's pretty,
yeah, man. That's pretty cool.
Zing.
Awesome. And the title goes.
It's fine.
It is windy, but hey, we got our first little fan interaction, so that was pretty cool. We're gonna mark on that.
Yeah, that was pretty bomb. His name was Trey.
Trey. Yes.
We'll have to find Trey out there and hook him up with
in
some
the internet land.
Yeah,
so
in the internet land.
We'll give a shout out to you, Trey, in this next one. So thank you for following. And if you guys haven't followed us yet, make sure you go into here, give us a follow on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all those social medias, TikTok, all at onesetpod.com. Thank you guys for being the awesome supporters that we had that we don't even know.
Yeah, for real.
now that we can actually say we really don't know how many people that actually follow us that we don't know.
Yeah, for
other
real.
than our friends and moms.
And moms. I did tell my dad, I was like, you should tune in on the Facebook. We're going on around 1, and then it was like 1:30 when we started. But it's all good. Yeah.
So you were saying there was a match that you did not care
Yeah,
for.
we're going to go through the card from the start. I was just filling time while we were dealing with the laptop here that's recording us almost tipped off the stool it's sitting on. So
yeah, I'm just like, gee.
Yeah, that would have completely ex-nayed everything. All right. Triple H opens up the show, deservingly so. It is the start to the new era officially now, right?
Official.
Under the TKO umbrella. Yeah, I am excited. I think that because I think it was Kevin Dunn who was like their production executive before. He was with them forever. I forget the name of the guy who they just hired that's in there, but it's evident the changes that they've made to the display of the product, on TV, on social media. Just everything feels really right now.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be.
It's in a good, like, wrestling's in a good spot right now.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to be slowing down anytime soon.
No.
That'll be the thing, is how long do they go before they hit like a lull period again?
Right.
It's been hot for, I don't know, past 3 months. I mean, since I'd say since CM Punk came back in November, like from then on, and then The Rock came back, and like we knew that they were setting up for the Rock and Roman match, and they pulled the audible on it, and went with the Cody storyline that they're doing.
A lot of things changed, but
it's working. The fact that they were
really
able to pivot, they made the pivot work, right? Because the way that it was set up with Cody saying not at WrestleMania, and then The Rock comes out, and then literally the internet was up in arms. Like the whole IWC was in a complete uproar about that, right? So I think the fact that they were able to make the pivot and make the pivot make sense, everything felt like it was supposed to happen the way that it did.
Yeah.
And
kind of like how Rock was saying last night in the press conference that, like, they had two choices, whether they, just keep going with it and just let whatever the WWE Universe was just going to pull at them, or, again, pivot and, just kind of swerve it out. And I think they did the right thing with kind of, just listening to the audience, because we've all been saying for years, why aren't they listening to us? Why aren't they, again, can't do it 100%, but, I think this is a perfect moment. They had to listen to the audience.
Well, it's Vince McMahon just running through and doing whatever he wanted all of the time. Right?
Exactly.
Like, the only real pivot that I that I remember is Daniel Bryan, the Yes Movement going into WrestleMania 30, right? Every other time I feel like Vince was just pushing John Cena on us, pushing Roman Reigns on us. The Brock was the Brock. Lesnar was just dominant as long as he was, and everyone was like, come on, man, we're sick of this. He's just sitting at home with the title and this, that, and the other. I just think, to be a WWE fan right now is super cool. And I am...
Biggest Mania of the year, biggest Mania of all time. Can't be better to be a wrestling fan right now.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get into the card itself, right?
Again.
Or
continue the card.
So,
how you doing, man?
How's it going? Rhea Ripley defends against Becky Lynch to open the show. I gotta say, they were on commentary talking about how Becky Lynch had been sick with strep throat for the past week.
Yeah, I did hear that.
She looked off, and there were a lot of miscues in the match where I was just like, this is not as solid as Rhea and Charlotte were last year.
Yeah, like I told you, I didn't care for the match. I thought it was going to be better because of the, and again, it could probably be because she was feeling sick all week. But even just Rhea, I just thought they both weren't really fully connected in the match.
Right.
They were just kind of going through the cues and going through the spots and everything. But I expected a better match from the two.
Yeah.
I felt like I told I felt the ladder match was way better. That probably should have opened, and then you get Becky.
Yeah.
And Rhea. But then again,
yeah. The ladder match.
Happens.
The ladder match was built with so many phenomenal spots in it, right?
Yeah.
For that to open and then anyone to have to go after that second, right? I think the Rhea and Becky match, for as long as it had been hyped up, did not live up to the expectations for me.
No, the build up to it was great, but then the match itself was just mediocre. But again, glad that Rhea won. She's definitely going to be holding that title for a while.
I think so.
So
I think so.
We at least got the match right, but I just wasn't too big of a fan of the match itself.
Yeah.
I wanted more out of it. Give me what I want.
Yeah, seriously. There wasn't anything to me that was notably memorable from the match because I was too distracted by the couple botch miscues that they had.
Yeah.
Rhea won. She was the one I had picked, and I can't see. Where do you think Rhea goes from here?
That I haven't really thought of, but I like I said, I think how we said on our episode this past Friday, I think there's going to be a start to the crumble of Judgment Day. I think that's probably one of the first things that's going to kind of start crumbling. That since we had Dom, and it really depends on if Damian does anything tonight too. But they lost their tag. Damian and Finn lost their tag belts last night.
Right.
Dom lost his match, so Rhea has that smoke on them that she's like, hey, I retained. What did you guys do? But I think it really depends if Damian does cash in tonight successfully, which it's hit or miss depending on what he does. But I think Rhea can definitely start pulling her weight of saying that, mommy's always on top, and, she's just going to start ruling everybody and anybody.
Yeah, I mean...
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's going on? Good to see you.
Got some friends and family here. How you doing?
First time in my life I've worked out.
How you doing?
How are you doing, Chris?
What's up, man?
Good to see you. What's going on?
Yeah, got some friends and family coming over here. But yeah, when it comes to Rhea, where she goes, that's the only thing I can think of right now is the fact that I think something's going down within Judgment Day. But who she will be facing next, I don't know right now. I mean, unless they do like the Nia Jax thing or could be a Liv Morgan thing, because you had those two going. But out of that right now, I don't know where they might go with either a triple threat or something going back to Liv and them. So
yeah, I mean it's
nah, you ain't getting away with the Redskins today, buddy.
Yeah, I don't think Rhea drops the belt to someone unless if it's like a Jade Cargill, like someone that's like a big name, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we get Jade Cargill for a little while since she's, dealing with Bianca and Naomi right now, but that'll definitely be something I can see happening down the line.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think that Jade just needs to like be on TV regularly so that we can watch her like grow with the WWE, like the WWE product, before you throw a strap on her. Because, the fact that she debuted at the Rumble and got a Mania match, she's already a big name, right? But you got to get her some reps. You got to get her on. I would imagine she's on SmackDown for sure right now. Like she just signed with SmackDown.
Yeah.
They are doing a draft in about a month.
I heard, draft's coming, so there's going to be some shake-up coming for sure.
Definitely. Superstar shake-up.
Superstar shake-up. Shake-up.
Freaking worst. Freaking worst, man.
I thought they were done with the things, but then again, I guess we're still getting, the difference between Raw and SmackDown. But we'll see how it goes with what Hunter's going to do with it, though.
Well, I think the draft is more to keep it feeling on the sports end of it.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And having superstars be free agents so that they could float from one show to the other kind of thing.
For sure.
It's cool because that's going to happen, I think, within a month, and we're definitely getting some NXT call-ups. I will say, before we continue on with the card, did get the chance to watch most of the NXT Stand and Deliver that was at the Wells Fargo yesterday. There's some when we talk about, I watched that after WrestleMania last night and this morning before we came up here. Mm-hmm. I made it through a couple matches last night, and I watched a couple other ones earlier today. And
yeah, I didn't get to catch it, but I'll have to catch it maybe later, like tomorrow or something. But I heard it was pretty good.
The thing with NXT is once Triple H was running through his health scare and was like almost not going to make it, and then Vince took over NXT.
That came up that are already on the main roster now, and like you did, I got out of NXT, so I want to definitely try to watch it a little bit more so I can get back into like who's the people that are potentially coming back into the main roster with this group of people too.
Yeah,
because we grew up with Finn, KO, Sammy, and all those guys that are already established on the main roster, and even the ones that had just came out of like Liv and all those people too. But the people that are on the top of NXT right now, I really don't know to a point where I can be like, oh, okay, I can give like a comment on.
Yeah, there were. I knew of the challenger for the NXT championship. I'm missing his name right now, but Ilja Dragunov is the champion, and he successfully retained. Ilja Dragunov is so good. He's like Pete Dunne and Gunther, really good. He's definitely getting onto the main roster.
Yeah.
Probably sooner than later, but he did successfully retain, so he's probably going to stick around there for a while. Carmella Hayes and Trick Williams main evented, and that match is great.
Great.
You have to watch.
It was the
one.
first, like 2 black men to main event like a WWE event, right? Or
So I think the last one was Booker T and The Rock.
at least for NXT then.
It was for NXT for
So.
sure. I mean, and what better place than the city of brotherly love? Come on, man.
Yeah,
like it was, that was
absolutely.
perfect. Trick Williams is from Philadelphia.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's written in
I
stone
was,
there.
yeah, right there,
Yeah, man.
for sure.
Come on.
Get real.
Get real. Real trash.
Definitely go back and watch Stand and Deliver at some point.
Yeah, I
later
definitely
this
got to
week.
do that this week.
And I want to get back into NXT now. I know Shawn Michaels is basically running that ship. Triple H is definitely helping him if he needs it.
Right.
But Shawn's doing a really good job from what it looks like. Roxanne Perez won the women's NXT championship. That women's NXT championship match was light years above Rhea and Becky, and that's what I'm saying though. Is like you can't be women's championship match at the biggest WrestleMania ever, and the NXT women's championship match was, in my opinion, a better, funner match to watch. There weren't miscue disconnects, and I would have expected some miscues in NXT, not at WrestleMania.
Yeah. In general, I mean, women's wrestling over like the last, X amount of years has gotten better.
Yeah,
and like how I think Becky was saying, like I think there should be more matches that don't have an actual title established to it. It should just be, titles and non-title matches for women. So, I mean, obviously the tag match was one, but singles matches, definitely I feel, definitely can get some more women that don't have a title attached to them can actually, really put on a good show. And I think we're close to seeing that.
I would say by next year we're going to get a women's singles. I mean, if Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair had a match this year at WrestleMania, it did not need a title. They could have just went in there one-on-one. I mean,
absolutely.
Obviously they'll work towards that. I think that right now the two of them and Naomi being like a team, and we'll talk about them when we get to the match. I think it is going to bode really well for them for the next maybe 4 to 6 months, and then we're going to get a split out somehow, whether Bianca goes heel. I think Jade in AEW was like kind of a Randy Orton tweener character. Like you could put anyone against her, whether they were face or heel, and Jade would just complement them.
Yeah,
like really well. So let's move on to this tag match that went on second. I was like, well, thank goodness, that was so much fun.
It was a relief of from what the opener was.
Yeah.
I think everybody pulled their weight. There was a lot of good spots. There wasn't a lot of like downtime. There was always something to really like look forward to in the match. I'm happy with. I didn't expect Theory and Grayson to win the SmackDown. We didn't predict that one, but we did predict Awesome Truth to actually win that. So that was good that they at least got that.
Yeah. So just to get all of the participants out there, A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller versus. Well, I'm just reading off the list.
Yeah.
Here. Versus Awesome Truth, Miz and R-Truth. Versus the defending champions, which is Judgment Day, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest. We got DIY, which we had picked.
We picked them.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, they were pretty quiet a little bit.
I was expecting a little bit more from them.
They were a little quiet.
Right. I think that the story... just get through the list here. New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate.
Yeah.
I got to say, I think everyone showed up and looked really great in the match. I will say, how is it, by the way?
I don't know. Kev, have you tried Prime before? It's good? We're gonna try it for the first time in a little bit. We got, what's this one? Blue? I'm assuming it's some type of blue raspberry.
And Tropical Punch.
Tropical Punch. All right, we'll definitely get a taste test on that in a few. Yeah, we haven't tried it. I've never tried it before. Oh, I'm sure they have a whole stash of it in there.
Yeah. I mean, when we get to the night 2 predictions and we're talking about Logan Paul, we'll definitely
get
in on
Yeah.
that for sure.
We saw it on the ring, yeah. I mean, how can you not have a better thing than having your sponsor name like Prime right on the ring? That's awesome for Logan.
Yeah, I thought that might have only been there for the Logan Paul match, and it was there for
I thought
the
so too.
entire.
I did not think it was going to be through the whole thing. I thought it was just going to be for the Logan Paul match. So I'm like, they're really putting a lot on Logan.
Yeah,
so.
they got a lot of stock in Logan Paul, man. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about him when we get to the night 2 predictions later on. This tag match, man. Did you catch the Johnny Gargano over the rope DDT to Pete Dunne to the table on the outside?
I think yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Dude,
that was nuts.
I've never seen a spot like that ever.
No. And that's, what I was expecting to have, like, because a lot of those guys were brought up from NXT, so you knew you were going to have some, high-flying, cool spots of people. So that spot was definitely, top 5 of that match. If there was anything, I'm trying to think there was another good spot.
Every single
Must have
person
been right after that, but yeah, everybody had like their moment.
Every single person in this match came up from NXT. I mean, granted, yeah, the New Day has been around for a long time, but they started down in NXT forever ago,
and they even went back down to NXT for a little bit to come back to the main roster.
Yeah.
So come on now,
For sure.
get real.
Yeah, I mean, Pete Dunne, always a fan. We always
Big Pete Dunne fans.
Yeah.
Can't say much more than what we already said. We can't say much more.
Other than we're just thrilled that he's not Butch anymore.
Yeah, thank God. I mean, hey, it took him to go into a tag person to really become Pete Dunne again. But hey, whatever, it's fine. I'm fine with it.
Good with it. Dude, the ref screaming into the ring when Miz was at the top and fighting.
I didn't hear that.
One of the refs was like yelling into the ring, and I'm like, what is she doing? And then when Miz was up on the ladder, the bottom of the ladder was crumbling, and Priest basically botched the chokeslam he tried to chokeslam Miz from the top of the ladder and down, right? And it was a complete botch fest, right? Botch mania for sure.
Yeah.
But the ladder was actually crumbling under. Like, I've never seen like a ladder like crumbling like that with 2 guys on top. I was like, this could be real bad.
Right.
So good thing. Priest chokeslam Miz off, and then Priest hopped down, folded up that ladder, got rid of that ladder, and brought another ladder in.
Right. We were watching that, and I think my mom was watching. She's like, well, why did he get that ladder out of them? Like, because it was probably broke, or the fact that it was you have to get a new one, because then it broke, and you see, like, the red tape. She's like, oh, well, that's not a real ladder. I'm like, come on now. I'm like, I just got done telling you they were altered. Like, and then she sees, like, the red thing. I'm like, it's not a real ladder.
Yeah, all of the ladders and
Sorry,
all the
Mom,
tables.
I had to. She's watching. I had to put her out on blast on here.
Wasn't me, Vern. Wasn't me. I won't do that to you.
We had both our moms watching, I think. So shout out to Bern and Connie.
Oh, Connie and Big Jim.
Connie.
Tuning in. Sup, everybody. My goodness. That match, I mean, come on. R-Truth getting that big moment.
Oh, yeah.
I think
people loved it, too. I mean, because when's the last time, other than the 24/7 championship belt, that R-Truth held an actual title? It's been a minute. So
a good decade.
I mean, I don't even think since I've known Truth, since I've been back to watch him, I've never seen him with a belt.
No. Mm-mm.
So I'm happy to see him with some type of a belt, even tag belt, whatever. So I'm cool because Awesome Truth wasn't Awesome Truth a thing back before too.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's cool. Yeah. So they're getting it back. So that's good.
I think Truth getting the tag belts was the biggest pop of the night.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the thing is with, and we'll just talk about it when we get to the tag main event, but I was expecting it to be more one-sided, and it was definitely mixed reactions across all 4 of the people in the main event. And like I said, we'll talk about it when we get there. Let's move right along here. Rey Mysterio and Andrade. So I don't know
Which,
what happened.
Again, I thought was going to go first because of everything.
I don't know
I want
what-
to get something more to prop that up because I have a feeling that's going to fall eventually.
All right. I
Keep
don't,
going.
I don't know what happened to Dragon Lee. I just know on SmackDown it was he got hurt and he's out, and Andrade said he'd go in.
If you want to, there's not a problem.
Andrade said he'd go in, and Carlito looked like a way. I was expecting a Carlito turn
I was too.
in the match
Because everybody's been saying Carlito's going to turn. Carlito's going to turn.
Yeah, I think.
But then I thought with Friday, with Andrade, siding with Ray and saying like, "Hey, shake hand. Let's shake hand,
shake hand, slap hands,
slap hands." I figured I'm like, okay, well maybe Andrade is turning because he was with Dom and all those, so maybe he was just pulling a oneer and being like, "Hey, I'll just go over Ray." Cost the match, and then you have another person that is off of Ray's side, but looks like he was loyal to him. But then we got the big one, one of the bigger things that was Philly of the night. We got Jason Kelce and Lane Johnson coming in to help Rey Mysterio and Andrade, which obviously I saw I didn't know it was Jason Kelce, but I knew it was Lane Johnson because half his beard was coming off.
Sold yourself out, bro. I mean,
it was more obvious it was Lane Johnson than it was, Jason Kelce, but it was still cool to see.
Yeah, I think that they were out there in their lucha masks for about a minute until I was like, I bet you this is the Jason Kelce spot. So
go WrestleMania.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun spot. We had Ray winning. We had Dom losing because we had all of the Judgment Day guys losing, right?
Yeah.
So Priest and Finn lose both belts, right? JD McDonough gets in the match and does a Matt Hardy callback spot from TLC Mania years ago. The match was fun, but I think just because we were expecting Ray to get the win, and you got Jason Kelce in there, it's like, okay, that was all right.
Mm-hmm. It was a good spot.
Yeah.
It was enough to say that they got in there and did something.
Yeah.
We knew they weren't going to have a full match but for them to interrupt the match and have a little bit of a spotlight, that's enough to what we had. It was cool.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, what did you think of this Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso match?
Again, I wasn't expecting top tier match, but I was okay with it. I thought it performed better than the Rhea and Becky match, but something tells me that this isn't going to be the last time they fight. We might get one more, but it didn't seem like they had anything to really still go over, so it might not. But I feel like they might have one more match. But it was a good up and down match. I don't think it was match of the night.
I was pretty bored through it, honestly.
Yeah, to say the least.
I'm just like,
it wasn't match of the night. It wasn't like it's not a match that you're going to be coming up and talking to people like, oh, did you see that Jay and Jimmy match? Like some people will be like, they fought.
Yeah, I didn't feel any match chemistry from the two of them in the match. Like I really think this match needed to happen 6 months ago.
Yeah.
When Jimmy cost. Well, no. Jimmy just cost Jay the IC title a month ago. That was how they got to the build to their Mania match.
Yeah.
But Jimmy and Jay went Splitsville back in the summer, right?
It should have been way sooner than Mania because again they didn't really build it up too much. You kind of figured it was going to happen. They didn't really have to do too much build, but it was a very last minute build to be like, hey, let's just have a match. But again, it should have probably happened a lot sooner.
Yeah, and I just think because there was so much dead time after Jay left SmackDown and came over to Raw and started his solo run, his individual solo push, not solo Sokoa, push Sokoa. There was just such a long time that Jimmy and Jay were detached from each other.
Yeah.
That I was frustrated 4 for them because I was like, this match needs. It's Jimmy versus Jey Uso. Like, they've been wanting to have this match since they were kids. So I would say they have to have another match at some point. Maybe SummerSlam. Maybe keep the feud moving until SummerSlam.
Yeah. I feel like, another SummerSlam-esque, but, like, just leave it there. Maybe one more to kind of call the odds, but I don't see it going like a best out of 3 type of scenario. Just one more to kind of say, like, hey, or if not them together, it would like kind of be like Solo with it and somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't see it being another singles match.
I don't know, man.
Because you can only do so much with that.
Yeah. I don't know.
They've already done enough for what their story is.
Yeah.
So.
I don't have anything really more to say other than
What do the cool kids say now? It was pretty mid.
It was very mid. It was mid as being like nice in my opinion. Like I know that they can both work, and I know that they worked forever as a tag team together.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to be feuding with each other and having a one-on-one match at WrestleMania, the biggest WrestleMania of all time, they needed to deliver at a higher caliber.
Yeah,
so
I agree. So
we gotta see what's in store for them going forward. Let's move on here. We get the Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi defeated Damage Control, Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane.
Which is pretty. Like I said, it was a pretty one-sided. I thought it was gonna be a pretty one-sided match. I mean, you got Jade Cargill. She wasn't not gonna lose at WrestleMania, being her debut match.
No.
So you knew she was gonna pull out the win, and from what I saw, I mean, again, wasn't many too big moments in it, but it was just, you went through the motions and kind of, made it a match,
Yeah, the match was literally built to put Jade Cargill over.
Yes.
Like, it was like the way, the design of the match itself was really just to get Jade in the main event stage with these WWE, like, veterans, you can kind of say. Yeah, I feel like we needed more from Damage Control to be. The match went 8 minutes. It's the shortest match of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
which I was okay with. I mean, I don't really think it needed to go more than 10, 15, but I wouldn't have thought 8.
Yeah,
but
8 feels a little short. I'd go to 12.
Yeah.
Like I
cut the middleman.
Yeah, literally. I would have had Damage Control look a little bit more dominant in the middle of the match at some point. I don't care if they were just beating on Naomi.
Yeah.
And even Bianca.
Especially with the way they've been, getting one-overs on Bayley and how they've been really just causing a lot of her. But, again, you didn't really see Io Sky there, which didn't really need to be. But, again, you would have thought with the Kabuki Warriors, they would have been a little bit more hype to be out there and really do something.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Asuka through her NXT run, undefeated, comes to the the main roster. She was pretty good early on, and then was just kind of like, she won the first women's Royal Rumble ever, right? And then
yeah.
And then she went on to face Charlotte and lost to Charlotte at WrestleMania, which I was not thrilled about because I'm like, you literally had Asuka just run house down in NXT for 2 years.
Yeah.
And she was just a beast.
You eventually knew it was going to come to an end, but, I think from what I remember, like, it was just like, you would have thought it would have been a more climatic thing to be taking her out of her streak than what it really was. Because now it's like she's just kind of been like, living down here a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, she picked up some steam. She picked up some steam after she won the women's Money in the Bank, and then Becky handed her the Money in the Bank and it actually had the Raw Women's Championship in it. Asuka had a little run going there. That was cool. And then Asuka was gone for a little bit, and then she came back with like the new face paint and was dominant, but now she's just very like, I don't know. Kairi Sane came back and like they're okay as the women's tag team champions, but I'm like, I don't know. I think that there needs to be more with the Kabuki Warriors with damage control, and maybe after tonight we get a little bit more depth to that storyline, because right now I feel like it's very much just there to be there.
Yeah.
You know? I loved Bianca and Jade and Naomi's entrance when they were just dropping down from the lift. That was really, really cool. And I thought they did really great in the press conference afterwards. Like I thought that they handled themselves really well.
Yeah, I mean, they're having a good time. Like, just like they said, I mean, it's a new tag team, and I mean, I gotta say they're probably one of the more dominant teams right now. So I would like to see them eventually getting some type of tag belt eventually, because, you know, with the way that they ran it, obviously you're gonna have them go over. But with Jade, I mean, depending on how long they're gonna run that tag team for, I was thinking last night, you're going to eventually have, you know, Bianca and Jade split up, and they're going to eventually have a match together. Through that, that's probably how we're going to get it somehow. What they do with Naomi, I don't think anybody really cares. But
yeah, seriously.
But I think that's how you're going to get your Jade and Bianca match out of it. You know, because they're two of the same people. They're very two dominant people, so they're eventually going to start bumping heads.
Yeah.
So that's how you're going to get that match out of it. But I think for right now, it's cool to see her in a good spotlight, that they're having fun. She's getting, you know, her feet wet in the WWE, have a couple wins with, you know, the two women, and then she'll eventually start making her own path, and that's when we'll start seeing her single side.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it's good. You're giving her, like, if you keep the three of them together going forward, which I don't see why they will break them up, because they look great together. Like like they not just in the ring, but like carrying themselves as like a trio faction. I think it would be good if they were like a New Day with the three of them, where like they can have tag team matches where any of the two of them can go in at any time, and then just have the other one hanging out on the outside. I think I do see that leaning more towards like Naomi not wrestling as, like, you know how Xavier Woods basically didn't wrestle as much when it was just Biggie and Kofi most of the time. I could see that, because I don't see Naomi being on TV every week and wrestling at that. But you get Bianca and Jade tagging more frequently. I think that's the move with them at the very least. And then I don't know how they don't do Bianca and Jade at WrestleMania next year, unless if, like I said, you wind up getting a Rhea and Jade Cargill or a Rhea and Bianca match at Mania next year. Then whoever Rhea isn't facing, because I think it's going to be one of the two of them.
Right.
And then I think we're going to wind up getting Roxanne Perez from NXT. I think she's going to wind up getting pushed to the main event, like the SmackDown picture.
I do know her, and I can see her moving up to the main roster too.
Yeah.
I think she was really starting to get off when Mandy Rose was getting pushed out, so she was just getting pushed into it. So I do know her, so I can definitely see her being pushed into the main card when this draft comes. For sure.
she was super over as a babyface. She's running a heel situation now, but her in-ring work, it's not like Carmella Hayes, but Carmella Hayes as a face or a heel, he is excellent in the ring. He's excellent.
Yeah. Again, there's not many people that I know, but I know names, but I haven't seen a lot of his matches. But like the little, promo cards I've seen he's obviously one of the bigger guys that's pushed into NXT right now. So I definitely got to catch him a little bit more. But
he was on SmackDown for a minute, and then I think he got into the feud with Trick Williams down in NXT, and they were like, okay, we're turning you heel, and we need you here to like flush out this storyline.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see him getting up and pushed up in a couple months too, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's get it.
We got two more, right? We got the
it's the IC match next.
The Gunther.
Yeah. So they do this thing backstage where Sammy looks like he's freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
His wife comes up, his son comes up. He looks nervous as anything.
Yeah.
And then his wife was going out to watch from the front. They were leaving their son backstage. Sammy was like, leave him back here. I don't want him to see, because like basically Sammy thought he was going to get his ass beat.
Right. You might not want to look at this stuff.
Yeah, which he sure as shit did. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I saw the first little bit, and then I passed out. So I can't really comment too much on it, but I had to go back and be like, oh, okay, he actually got the win. So I'm like, but I heard it was one of the better moments of the night when he actually got the win.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got to say this, for everything that Sammy's been through in this last year, I know we didn't predict him to win, but after seeing that, after everything he's gone through with the bloodline and Jay and everything, this is what he needed.
Yeah,
to get back into like some type of relevancy with his career, to like really get him back up there. So I know I doubted Sammy, but I got to say I'm happy to see that he won.
So Chad Gable, after Sammy leaves his wife and his son, moves on, he runs into Chad Gable.
Yes.
And Chad was like, you ready? And Sammy's like, I don't know, man. And Chad's like, after all we've been through these past couple weeks, because Chad Gable had been training him and working with him. What Chad Gable did, I don't know, because I think all it was, hey, Sammy, just don't kick out of Gunther's 3 power bombs and 3 splashes from the top rope.
Just do whatever you need to do to not tap out.
Just don't kick out.
Don't kick out.
But also, just coming off of the tag match last year at WrestleMania with Sammy and Kevin Owens against the Usos, how many false finishes that there were in that match with Sammy. There were plenty of times where Sammy could have lost last year, and he didn't, and he kept kicking out. Right. So I think, if anything, that translated over into this match with Gunther. I am happy for Sammy, don't get me wrong. Definitely was not expecting it. I swore Gunther was going to wind up dropping it to Chad Gable, because that storyline has been built.
Yeah, because you were saying at first, like, oh, watch Sammy get taken out before
something happens,
and
to
then
Sammy,
something happens,
and then Chad fills in for him. But alas, we get Sami Zayn as the Intercontinental Champion, getting a big WrestleMania moment. Like I said, unexpected. I thought that the frickin' brain buster off the top into the turnbuckle was just absolutely an incredible spot. I was like, oh my God, like that really.
I got to interrupt you. We got the Fiend.
I see him over there.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That's amazing. He's got the gloves and everything. It looks good. Once he hit that brainbuster into the turnbuckle from the top, and then we got the hell over kick after that.
Yeah, that I saw that spot. And I'm like, oh, okay, he definitely won.
Yeah.
Before they did, like, they were doing that doing the promo of it at the end of the night, and I saw that spot. I'm like, oh, he won. And then so they showed him holding up the belt. I'm like, all right, good.
That spot has not been done that I've ever seen, at least on the main roster in WWE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were seeing it.
Ever.
The Fiend. Yeah.
What's up, man? Oh, we got to get a picture.
Yeah, we got to get a picture on this. What's up?
Hey.
Yeah, we're gonna pause real quick. We got to get a picture.
We got to get a picture, and then
we'll be right back.
Yeah. Quick break. Dude. Sick get up, man.